Assalamualaikum guys, it's Techno Shaggy and I'm back with my next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a VLAN in Cisco Packet Tracer. So before initiating our lab, first let me give a short overview about Virtual Local Area Network. Virtual Local Area Network divide your physical local area network into logical local area network, which are called Virtual Local Area Network, using layer 2 switches. This implementation is done through switches. We are on the same physical device, we are on the same physical switch, but we will be dividing them into different virtual local area networks so that they can't communicate with each other. In order to make them communicate with each other, we will be needing layer 3 switch, router, or you can say IP addresses. For example, computers or devices which are on the same virtual local area network, they can communicate with each other, but which are on the different VLAN, in spite of being on the same physical device, it's still they can't communicate with each other because they are divided logically, not physically. So the purpose of virtual local area network is to make sure that your network is more secure and your network is more functional. We don't need to add additional wirings or additional cables. We just need switch device in order to make it successful. So there are two types of encapsulation which are called tagging protocol, IEEE 802.IQ and ISL. But the standard, or you can say default one, is IEEE 802.IQ. So now let's initiate our lab. Here we are going to use two layer 2 switches 2960 from end devices. You can choose your devices, and we are using 6 generic pieces. Our first task is what? Connect them through wiring. As you know that for different devices we will be using straight through cable. Fast Ethernet 0 by 1, Fast Ethernet 0 by 2, Fast Ethernet 0 by 3. Now let's connect these pieces to the switch. Fast Ethernet 0 by 5, Fast Ethernet 0 by 6, and Fast Ethernet 0 by 7. Now let's connect these two switches. Here we will be using crossover cable. As for same devices, we should use crossover cable 04. Now our next task is to create virtual local area network. Here we will be creating 3 virtual local area network: VLAN 10, VLAN 20 and VLAN 30. So click on the switch, go to CLI mode, enable mode, configure mode. Now in configuration mode, you just VLAN. You just need to write VLAN and your ID name 10. Now VLAN is created. Whether you want to name your VLAN or not, it's depend upon you, because automatically it will also rename the VLAN. But I will name the VLAN students. Now VLAN 10 is created. Now let's create the other VLAN 20. Let's name it networking exact. Now let's create the VLAN 30. We will be naming it IT. So here we had created 3 VLAN. Now on the other side also we have to create 3 VLAN on the next switch. Enable mode, config mode, VLAN 10, name students, exact, VLAN 20, name networking, and exact, VLAN 30, name IT, and exact. So now we had created VLAN. Now next task is to assign interfaces. As we know that we need to assign a 01 interface to VLAN 10, 02 interface to VLAN 20, and 03 interface to VLAN 30. So now let's do it. Go to CLI mode, interface mode, fast Ethernet 0/1. Now we are in the interface. Oops, I did a mistake. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Now we are in the interface. For here we need to create access mode ports in order to access the VLAN. So here we will be using command switch port mode access. So the access port is created. Now we are going to assign this access port to which VLAN? Switch access to VLAN 10. Now let's assign the next interface. Interface fast Ethernet 0/2. Here also we need to create access port, switch port, mode, access. Now access port is created. Switch, access, VLAN 20. It's done. Exact. Now the third, switch port, mode, access, interface. We need to go in interface 0/3. Now we need to create a switch port, mode, access, VLAN 30, and exact. Do the same task on the next switch. Assign these interfaces to the VLAN 10, 20, and 30. First go to an interface, fast Ethernet 0/5. We are in the interface. Now we need to create what? Access port, mode, access, and we need to assign this access port to which VLAN? VLAN 10. VLAN 10. Exact. Interface 0/6. Switch port, mode, access. Access port is created. And switch access VLAN 20. Exact. Interface 0/6. 0/7, sorry. Switch port, mode, access, and switch port access VLAN 30. Exact. We have created the VLAN, and we also done the interfaces. We can exact from there. Show VLAN brief. Here you are seeing students networking IT 3. These three VLAN we have created yet, and these three interfaces we have assigned to these VLAN. Fast Ethernet 05, 0/6, and 07. And by default there are total 5 VLANs, and from VLAN 1, 26 total interfaces are attained.